If you are manifesting big changes into your life, sometimes it can be hard to tell if you are moving into your desired reality. So in this video, I'm going to give you some telltale signs that you have successfully shifted realities. We are always shifting through different realities and different timelines on a day-to-day basis or even a moment-to-moment basis based on the choices that we are making in our life. And we are existing simultaneously in all of these infinite amounts of timelines and realities that exist within the quantum field. And so basically, you're existing in an infinite soup of realities and timelines at all times. According to the multiverse theory, all possibilities for your life are existing simultaneously on different timelines or in different realities. And this is also what Neville Goddard is referring to when he says that all creation is finished and we are just aligning with the different states of consciousness. These states of consciousness are similar to these realities or these timelines that are existing all around you in this quantum soup. You are existing simultaneously in all of these infinite amount of timelines or realities, and by using your conscious focus, you are able to project your life force into whichever reality or state of consciousness that you desire to experience in the 3D world. So when you are manifesting a huge change in your life, you are deliberately shifting your focus or your consciousness from your current reality into another reality or another timeline or another state of consciousness that already exists. So when we are manifesting, we're not really ever creating anything new. We're only lining up with something that's already been created. We're kind of choosing into this other reality or this other world or this experience that already exists for us in the quantum field. And so anything that you can imagine that you want to experience is available for you in the quantum field. It is an energy or a vibration that you're able to tap into. So that's how you know if something is possible for you. It is whether or not you can imagine that thing. If something wasn't already created, if it didn't already exist, we wouldn't have the ability to imagine that thing, right? So if you're able to imagine something that you want to achieve in this life, that means that it's already possible for you and it's already created. And all that you need to do is line up with that vibrational frequency by putting your conscious focus into that frequency, and then you will shift into that reality and you will have that desired experience. So when you are in the beginning stages of shifting realities and you are starting to successfully shift into that new timeline, there are going to be some changes that you're going to start to notice, but these changes are going to come from within you and not from the 3D world around you. So in the beginning stages, you want to pay less attention to what is going on in your 3D world, and you want to pay more attention to how you are feeling inside yourself, because your energy, your consciousness is going to first shift into the new reality, and then there's a bit of a time delay as that reality is projected out into the 3D world before you see those changes externalized in the 3D world. So the first changes that you're going to notice when you have successfully shifted into a new reality are going to come from within you. You're going to be feeling different when you wake up in the morning and throughout the day. You're going to find that you are perceiving your life a little bit differently. If you are trying to shift into a more positive timeline, you're likely going to notice yourself feeling a little bit more grateful for some of the things that are in your current life that maybe you didn't notice before, or maybe you took for granted before. So for example, if you are trying to manifest a better reality where you maybe have a nicer house, you might find yourself starting to feel more grateful for the place that you're currently living in. You might start noticing different things about your current living environment that are very pleasing to you that maybe you were just taking for granted before. So you're going to start noticing these little shifts about how you are perceiving your outer 3D reality, even though that reality hasn't changed yet. You're going to have a different perception of that reality. And when you're in this new state, this new perception, and you start to think back to some of your old memories or your old experiences that are tied to this previous timeline that you are shifting away from, you're going to start to feel like those memories aren't quite yours. Like they're going to feel like they're memories from like a past life, or they're memories from almost another person. You know that they're memories that happened, but it feels like they're not your memories. You're going to feel a lot less attachment to these memories, and they're going to feel a bit disconnected, as if they're a part of a past life or someone else's life. It's going to feel now like you are in a completely different life, and that old life is going to feel like it is light years away in a totally different dimension. You will also likely start feeling a sense of satisfaction or relief, like you already got what you wanted, even though you're not seeing it pictured in the 3D yet. You're going to have this satisfaction that it's already yours, and the desire to achieve that thing might actually leave you completely. And you might not even really desire that thing anymore because you already feel satisfied and you feel like it's already yours. It can basically be summed up to a feeling of not needing your manifestation anymore because you already feel like you've experienced it. You already feel like you have it. So again, to take you back to that example of somebody who is trying to manifest their dream house, you may, after going through the process of manifesting this dream house, seeing yourself in this dream house, embodying the version of you that lives in this dream house, reach a point where even though you're still living in your current house or your current apartment, you feel such a strong feeling of satisfaction or relief, or this feeling of having already gotten your dream house, that you're actually content in the house that you're in, and you almost no longer even desire the dream house because it feels like you already have it, even though it has not yet reflected in your 3D. And this is also what Neville Goddard refers to as the Sabbath state. So according to Neville Goddard, the Sabbath represents a state of mental rest and inner peace, a feeling of fulfillment and knowingness that your desires have already manifested, even if not yet seen in the physical world. It's a state of being where you have shifted your focus away from the problem or your current reality to the solution, your desired reality, and are resting in the feeling of it all being done. So when you start to feel yourself embodying that Sabbath state and you almost don't feel like trying to manifest your desire anymore, that's a huge sign that you have successfully shifted into that new reality. You may also start to notice the people around you acting differently towards you. They may be starting to reflect that new self-concept that you are embodying, and they may start mirroring that back to you. This can be a bit shocking and confusing at first because people may start acting in ways that are so in alignment with your new self-concept that it's almost a little bit eerie how much they've suddenly changed without you telling them anything. So it can be a bit shocking and confusing at first when people just randomly start treating you in a different way. But this is a huge sign that you have shifted into that new self-concept that is tied to that new reality. And I also want to note here that it's very likely that there's going to be a time period where you're going to go back and forth between different realities or different states of consciousness as you are shifting your energy to the new reality. You may experience some of these changes that I just listed for a few days or a few weeks. And then all of a sudden you might find yourself shifting right back into your old reality and things just revert back to the old way that they used to be. And you're like, what is going on? Or you may start to encounter some resistance here or an influx of old limiting beliefs coming up to try to pull you back into that old familiar reality. This is totally normal and totally expected as you are shifting realities. So if you are experiencing this, it is still a good sign that you have shifted into that new reality. This is just your ego or your identity or your self-concept trying to revert you back to what is familiar and what is safe, because your ego, it doesn't like change, right? So it wants to revert you back to the old familiar timeline because it's familiar with that. It knows what it is, it knows what to expect, and it knows how to keep you safe in that reality. So as you are shifting to this new reality, it is super common to experience this phenomenon where your ego tries to pull you back into that old familiar state of consciousness. And this is just the ego's way of trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you into what is familiar, and trying to maintain continuity of your timeline. Your ego's whole point in this reality is to help you experience life in a continuous timeline from birth to death. I know I've mentioned this in a lot of my videos recently. So when you are shifting realities and timelines, part of your ego's job is to maintain continuity between these timelines so that you're able to function in the 3D world and you don't completely lose touch with reality. So the ego is just doing its job here, trying to maintain continuity, trying to keep you on the timeline so that you can experience a life path in the 3D world with 3D space and 3D time. So when you are shifting into a new reality, it's totally natural to have this time period where you are kind of shifting gradually your energy into the new state of consciousness for a while, and then you have a bunch of resistance come up and you're back in the old reality, or there's triggering things in the 3D. This is totally normal. And if you're experiencing this, it's a sign that you're successfully shifting realities, even though it doesn't seem like it at face value. The process of slowly moving your energy into a new reality is actually beneficial to you because it will assist you in totally grounding all of your energy into this new reality so that you are making a permanent change, a permanent shift into this new reality, and you remain grounded in that state. And it will also keep you feeling more grounded in your identity in general and more grounded on earth. When you are manifesting and you are shifting reality, this isn't a temporary reality shift where you are just closing your eyes and projecting your energy into an alternate universe. So maybe you are projecting your energy into a video game universe or a Harry Potter universe where you are a completely different character if you want to be. And then when you are done experiencing that alternate reality, you would shift your energy back into your identity and continue on your life. That is a different, more temporary type of reality shifting. What we are doing when we are shifting realities to manifest changes is we are doing a permanent reality shift. So this is a reality shift that we are shifting our energy into without the intention of going back to the old reality when we are done. And so there is no going back once you have shifted into this new desired reality, unless you choose to do the process again to slowly shift your way back. And so to make this process more smoother and less shocking for your perception, it is typically done in this back and forth process. And so it appears as a gradual shift that is a lot more gentle and a lot more sustainable in the long run. So do not be discouraged if you find yourself for a few weeks experiencing all of these signs that I'm talking about, but then another week later you find yourself thrown back into your old reality. This does not mean that your manifestation has stopped working. It just means that you are in that time period where your energy is shifting into the new state or the new timeline. So when you're thrown back into that old state, you want to just welcome those feelings. You want to just allow them to pass through you and allow yourself to just experience them. You want to just observe how you are feeling, what you are thinking, and just allow these feelings and these thoughts to flow through you and pass out of you. And then when you start to notice yourself feeling a little bit of relief, you want to once again go back to persisting in your manifestation practices. So at this point, you would turn your attention back to the state of the wish fulfilled, and you would continue to visualize yourself, embody yourself in that state of the wish fulfilled, and become more familiar with what it feels like to embody and live life through the eyes of the version of you that already has what you are wanting to experience. And as you continue to walk this path and you continue to see yourself in that new reality, you'll begin to notice more and more of these signs that you have successfully shifted realities. And you will begin to start seeing the physical representation of your new reality expand all around you within the 3D. And likely these physical shifts will happen in ways that you never expected. And if you want some more tools that can get you into the wish fulfilled, that can help you visualize yourself fully embodying that new identity that you are becoming, check out my new meditation here. This SATS morning meditation is the exact meditation that I have been doing in my own life every morning as soon as I wake up. This meditation guides you through Neville Goddard's lullaby method to help you start to feel those positive feelings of having what you want. Then it leads you through a visualization of actually experiencing what you want, and then it allows you to go back and revise any past experiences or beliefs that may be keeping you from stepping into this new state of being and experiencing that reality. So I definitely recommend that you check out this meditation if you need some help or some guidance getting into that state of the wish fulfilled and feeling yourself actually being in that new reality.